Yo, this is Kyle Everts back again this is Kyle Everts back again with another live. I know the last two from last night were shitty. I deleted all those lives. I was not feeling good last night. Um, so, yeah, I want to let you all know. I know YouTube viewers were waiting for this, so I want to get right into it. If I share my freaking screen for a second, let me do that.
With uncertainty on how to pay rent, put food on the table, and gas in your car, it is no surprise that we're seeing more and more controllers not show up to work. We are already facing.
Okay. Hold on. I gotta make sure that this works. So I want to make sure that this is actually functioning. Okay. Oh, correct. All right. We got it. Now, to be honest, why can't airports maintain air traffic controllers? Why can't they? Because some Democrats were refusing the entire time to vote on that bill that they voted on 13 times under the Biden administration. Okay? Why? Why couldn't they? These people put food on the table. Why couldn't these people pay for gas for their cars? Why couldn't these people pay for rent? And another factor, why did you guys wait to vote on shit until after the election? When you Democrats won a few key races in the elections of 2025. Look at whatchamacallit. Look at Virginia. Spanberger won Virginia. Look at Mamdani, the Democratic Socialist Muslim and immigrant, won the election for mayor of New York. Look at New Jersey. That shows you something. They were refusing to vote on this bill. So people, struggling middle class Americans, the class that Democrats claim to support, are struggling. $9.2 billion, if not higher, were frozen up in food stamps, which Republicans have actually shown that they were going to continue this even if any shutdown happened. Our military had to get paid from money donated by the American people. $8 billion were donated by the American people so the military could get paid during the entirety of the federal government shutdown. Now, mind you, this is just the beginning of any question I have to ask. And that most likely only covered half of the federal government shutdown. What about the other half of the federal government shutdown? What about those weeks that the military did not get paid? You guys certainly owe the American people, especially those relying on food stamps, those who actually need it, not the ones who cheat the system, but those who actually need it, $9.2 billion plus an additional $8 billion to pay for military personnel. That's $17.2 billion. And you guys caused the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Why, Chuck Schumer? You guys are caving because you guys know you won a few key races to make Trump look bad. There are some policies that, I don't agree with Trump, like banning transgender gun rights. Okay, that is discrimination and a violation of Second Amendment rights. However, you know, Democrats, you also make no sense. You guys would hurry up and protect transgender people from having their gun rights taken away. But what about the rest of the people who you want to ban guns from? Right? The American people are hurting. Everybody is hurting, including the rich, unfortunately. Because here's the fucking problem. What you guys don't realize, the rich aren't hurting. Yes, they are. Because if the federal government shut down, people who own these airports, the corporations, they're hurting because they're losing consumers who rely on the federal government. They are losing money the most. If you guys don't realize that the government who's supposed to own everything, the only ones who aren't hurting is Big Pharma because they can constantly make medicine. Now, the research part, yes, they are hurting. But the drug production factories and everything, they are not hurting unless they are owned by the federal government. And if that is the case, then yes, and every American is hurting, including Elon Musk. Again, corporations are hurting. You know who supplies these corporations? The middle class. And yes, and this is why I believe the corporations are hurting. Again, most of the middle class relies on the federal government for their income, not the SSI checks, but income so they can pay taxes to the greedy ass government. So they can pay money for the programs that those who actually need it need, for those who cannot work. Now, before I continue, what do you all think? And I'm going to start a poll, all right? Hold on. Hold on.
We're just gonna go get some more treats. I'll be right back.
Sorry about that. And I will post that comment right after. You know what? Let me go do that now. I'm gonna pin that message. Let me pin that message. Pin message. All right. Now I'm gonna go to the actual live. Hold on. Trying to. Let me edit my video for a second. I'm trying to. I'm not gonna restrict my viewers because if I do, I am officially live. So I'm gonna do this. Hopefully, okay. It is not a restricted video, but please join the conversation. Please join the conversation. I am kind of somewhat requiring you to join the conversation because I need to hear your opinions on this. Don't be afraid. This channel will not discriminate any opinions unless it is racial bias against anybody or discriminatory. Please, other than that, your comments will not be flagged, even if you throw one or two curse words in here and there. It will not be flagged. But if you have an F-bomb after every other word, your comment will be deleted and removed from my video chat. Other than that, your comments will matter and your comments will stay. So please. Now, before I freaking continue, I want to stop my screen for a moment. I always forget to fucking mention this. Oh, excuse me. Please do not copy my video without permission. You can get the video of the screen I'm sharing. You can get the Senate votes to advance funding measures with 8 Democrats supporting it full video. You know what? I'm going to put the link in the chat. So the link I'm about to put in the chat, you could easily get it. You could easily get it. You can easily get the chat link. Yeah, I'm going to have to post it after the video. But you can, again, easily get the video. So yes, please do not copy my video without my permission. If I see it, there will be a DMCA strike on your channel without warning, and they will be persistent if you don't remove it. And they will keep being persistent until it is removed from your channel. And don't be a fucking dumbass, okay? You will get fined between $250,000. I could be wrong. It could be $25,000 to a maximum of $1 million in fines. And if you don't want to get butt fucked in federal prison, well, I shouldn't say that, but if you don't want to get thrown in federal prison, don't be a fucking dumbass and have 5 years of your life fucking wasted. So please Do not copy my videos without my permission. It's that simple. Don't be a dumbass. And again, I will repeat this. You will have a minimum of $25,000 and up to a maximum of $1 million fine. And it could be worse. 5 years in federal prison. Don't do it. So it's that simple. Don't be a dumbass. And me and you will be cool. It's that simple. You can watch it for entertainment. You can watch it for a reaction. You can watch it for your opinion. But don't you dare copy it without my permission. Again, always come to the creator if you want to copy or use their videos in any either scenarios or movies or etc. Which I don't think you should use any. Well, I'm not going to allow you to use any of my videos in movies. One, because you need fucking actors. And I can be a good actor at times. But does it look like I'm sitting here fucking acting? No. I'm sitting here bringing you real life information on what the fuck's going on in this crazy ass world. Now, I'm going to get back to sharing my screen for a minute. Because this is going to be a whole hell of a shit show when government reopens. So let's get a little more deep in this, shall we?
Controllers, and now we are seeing more having to pick up second jobs to pay the bills, or seeing some quit entirely. Or
I fucking wonder why. Because air traffic controllers are not going to work for free when you dumbasses don't know how to vote. It's that simple. Chuck Schumer should be fucking fired. And I don't want anybody saying, oh, the Democrats don't know what the fuck they're doing. Or they were too weak. That's bullshit. They knew exactly what the fuck they were doing. These pricks kept voting no. And then all of a sudden, after they won a few key races, they want to reopen the government. So I'm telling you, that is calculated. That is cold. And it is pretty clear and evident that these freaking dumbass Democrats, the ones who knew what the hell they were doing, had this all planned out to make the Republicans look bad. And I'm telling you, these fuckers need to be voted out. Not by Trump, not by the Supreme Court, but by the American people. That's my advice. It's up to you, the American people, to do this.
inaction and our inability to gain consensus are deterring young people interested in futures such.
It's not that you're incapable of voting and getting people to join air traffic controller. It's that you choose not to do that. You choose to do this. So the American economy can collapse. You fuckers are the reason this whole government shutdown fiasco took place in the first place. You could have prevented what is now going to be tomorrow, if it passes the House, going to be a mind-boggling 43 days. 43 days of the government closed. You don't understand. Let alone 34 days. It got us in roughly $8 trillion debt because you guys did not want to do your jobs under Trump's first term. I wonder what the frickin' debt is now. And people are blaming Trump for the first government shutdown. Oh, I'm starting to believe it's the Democrats. Why? Because they don't care about the American people like they claim. Again, there are some Democrats who did not want this government shutdown to happen in the first place. John Fetterman, a senator from Pennsylvania, voted all along to keep this government open. To keep this government open. So I'm going to say he did not want this to happen. There was another Democratic senator. And while all this was going on, California is now approve their 50 prop redistricting, meaning that they could have 5 seats in the House.
Maybe later. You have a meeting, community meeting that day.
Okay, we'll be trying to know your policy.
Oh, really? Thank you. Okay.
Now, to be honest, I'm going to tell you this. If the Democrats actually have control of the House, I can see this government shutdown lasting. I'm not hoping on this, but had Governor Newsom did this 50 prop bullshit when they passed the Big Beautiful Act, that bill would have never passed in the first place. That would have been the biggest defeat for Trump, unfortunately. But since Trump got that was the biggest legislative victory I've ever seen. But that is for another video. Maybe a little bit, but all that part aside, the 50 prop today, I could see the rest of the states following. And the entire government is going to reshift, either Republican or Democrat, or maybe independent, because there is 2 independent senators in Congress. I don't know who the hell they are. But we're about to find out who they are today, hopefully.
Such as air traffic controllers or other aviation professionals from pursuing those careers. The vulnerabilities in our aviation system has led Secretary.
No, the vulnerability in our government because of retards like you guys who don't know how to vote yes or no in the proper manner without fucking over the American people. It's the easiest job you guys got for the most amount of money per fucking year. That's not a military career. You guys are literally, you guys only have to say 2 words, yes or no, without fucking over the American people. And you guys can't even do that. Why would the American people vote idiots in the Congress?
Sean Duffy to begin reducing flights by 10% at 40 major airports.
Yeah, because you guys don't know how to vote. That's why the skies are clear by 10%.
Airlines, businesses, and general aviation alike are cutting into their operations to make certain that airspace is as safe as possible. It is critical to know that these impacts are not lopsided on those high traffic areas.
No, they're lopsided because you guys don't know how to vote. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep saying this. Until you guys get your heads out of your fucking asses and get your heads screwed on straight, I'm not going to trust a single politician. Yes, it is my duty to vote. But it is also my freaking duty as a citizen to not have to tell the viewers of how much knowledge I know about the government. I do more research on the Constitution as of right now than Joe Biden did in his freaking entire 66-decade political career, 60-year political career. Unfortunately, that is true. And to be honest, and I don't trust a single politician. You know, they always lie, they always cheat, they always steal, they're always corrupt. And yeah, it just sickens my stomach. You know, I shouldn't have to tell the viewers or whoever views this how much my knowledge. I have more about the freaking government than the guys and girls who are sitting in those seats in DC, only having to use 2 words, yes or no, or nay, or unsure. Like, you guys cannot vote on 2 words that are not gonna fuck over the American people, the economy, and industry. You guys are sick. You guys are idiots. You guys are freaking fossils that are waiting to be boosted up into freaking space. It just sickens. Man, I'm pretty sure it sickens you of how it just throws anger. You know, as a 19-year-old American citizen, I should not have to mention that, you know, these guys are idiots. These guys are supposed to be the smartest of the smartest. Yet, they have literally zero IQ. It just disgusts me.
Small and medium hub airports, such as we have in Kansas, that connect to those 40 are experiencing this pain just as much.
Yeah, you know who else is experiencing this pain? Every single American. Every single American. Rich, poor, normal income. Every single American is hurting because you fucks don't know how to do your jobs. How can you not get that through your head? I mean, you don't. Because you want to make yourself look like the perfect beings to run this country, which in fact, you guys are the dumbest people. We need a freaking new generation, a generation that knows what the hell they're doing, a generation that has some military experience, and a generation that's not going to screw over the American people. And I'm not talking about my generation because my generation is a bunch of fucking softies. I'm talking about like my generation's parents. That generation. Someone who's in their 30s and 40s, and yet they're yet not soft. Like, we need people who are in their 30s and 40s, who don't have dementia, who aren't ready to die in their sleep, who aren't dumbasses, who know what the hell they're doing, and who know how the American people, who knows how the American people feels. Okay? We need leaders who have brain cells, not fossils.
This is the quickest way to drain swollen legs.
Which one of these alcoholic beverages actually flushes out edema? All alcoholic drinks make edema worse, right? Wrong. In fact, recent Ivy League research
I don't give a fuck.
While this is a painful step, it is necessary.
Yeah, it's a painful step caused by you guys.
For the safety of the traveling public, and I support Secretary Duffy's decision.
No, you only support your pockets. You don't support the American people.
American Airlines indicated to me they've canceled more than 240.
I highly doubt that they indicated to you because they don't trust you. They probably indicated to the secretary, Sean Duffy, because they know he's more of an expert than you freaking crooks. The American people are probably regretted voted for.
Flights yesterday and delayed more than 1,000 flights, impacted more than 240 flights yesterday and delayed more than 1,000 flights, impacting more than 150,000.
Yeah, I wonder why. And not only that, airports rank in billions, maybe $1 trillion, maybe $2 trillion a year. You know how much that fucks over the economy with the shortage of air traffic controllers?
1,000 passengers. Airlines for America said that
Okay. Oh, shit.
staffing shortages disrupted the flights of more than 4 million passengers from October 1 to November the 7th on their partner airlines.
Yeah. And that's just one airport. Now times that by every fucking airport in this country, large or small or normal.
And that was before the mandatory reductions were put in place by the Department of Transportation. We can expect more cuts if we do not reopen the government.
Yeah, you can expect more cuts if you guys can't all reopen the pocket. But yet you guys don't talk about how your pockets are being filled while while every single American except the rich are struggling to feed their family. Well, maybe the rich too, because again, the middle class is what supplies these rich ass corporations. And without money from the middle class, these corporations cannot get their products out or spread the word of their companies to the public or to their target audience. Which that'll be for another video. You know what? I'm going to create another playlist called Media because I did take mass media as a class in my high school days. And it was pretty fun. But I'm going to give you a little bit of knowledge on that right now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute so I can give you a little bit of knowledge on my mass media. I'm not going to spoil it too much. But my mass media class, if I sound a little stuffed, sorry about that. But my mass media class talked about like the dangers of mass media, how mass media corporations make big profits, how media spreads the words to big corporations to spread to their target audience to get the target audience to buy their products or go on a commercial or buy a specific brand, whatnot, etc. And you know, the statistic I can remember is that ad corporations make $250 billion a year, which is roughly $250 billion per year. Now, that's 1%, roughly 1% of our GDP. Now, the problem with that is just because it's a small fraction of our GDP, the small things count. The small things count. Why? Because without ad corporations advertising, without the funds they're getting from corporations, which the middle class are not buying because of a government shutdown, or they're not getting any money to buy those products from corporations to advertise. Without that money, it's like dominoes. So remember something. Just because ad corporations only contribute 1% to our GDP, they're going to be like, oh no, our economy's not affected. Yes, the fuck it is. Yes, it is. Because again, corporations rely on the middle class and government subsidies to buy their products. To buy their products. And don't forget, they have to spend money to make those products. And if the middle class is not buying those products, no matter how low they drop the price, the middle class is not getting money during the government shutdown. Their products can't be bought. And no money equals no advertising. And no advertising means no target audience or no expanding target audience. And no audience, again, leads right back to no product buying, and no product buying leads to no money. So it's a full loop. And without advertising, how is the audience going to know what products to buy over other brands or what products to buy in general? Because of that, no money means no taxes. And again, without advertising, no products can be bought because nobody knows what products to buy. And no taxes means economic collapse. Because politicians do not know how to vote on 2 or 3 simple words. Yes, unsure, no. I cannot express that enough. Or a lot of people say it's just 2 words, yes or no, and I believe that is the case. Because unsure means your vote doesn't count at that point. And plus, you could get in trouble if you say unsure. I mean, that part I'm not sure about, but I don't want to spread false information because that is not what this channel is about. But if that is true, though, what I said, unsure means, your vote doesn't get counted or you can get in trouble for that. Then I guess I was telling the truth all along. But I don't want to spread too much information that I'm not sure about, meaning I will do my little deeper research to confirm that, if I told you whatever's wrong or right. But as far as I know, about almost 100, if not 100% of everything I said was right. I'm going to go with 100%. Then I said everything is right. Based off this video right here, this video tells it all. That these Democrats freaking, if this is true that they did not do this to intend to rig the election, which I don't think it is, but if it is actually true, without AI being used, I can tell a whole bunch of regret is smeared all over their faces. And as it should. Because they fucked over the constituents they swore a Bible to represent, who they claim to support, and who they claim to cut taxes for, which is a whole bunch of bullshit.
We saw how fragile our air system is.
Yeah, you pricks made this country fragile. China could have invaded us, knowing that our government was shut down. China could have, our biggest adversaries could have invaded us, and our military would have had no choice but to fight for this country without getting freaking paid or getting their funeral expenses paid. You guys don't realize that if our government is shut down, China, Russia, and North Korea can form an alliance to capitalize on this advantage. And even if NATO helped us, their troops on our soil would have to get paid by us. Like, let's say if we had German troops stationed here, which they are an ally, we would have to pay them because they are on their soil, like they are on our soil. Unless they were an enemy, then yeah, but as of right now, they're an ally. If allied troops were on our soil, like Germany or Spain, we would have to pay them because they are on their soil. On our soil, sorry. So imagine that. And yes, World War III would have started off. The president would have had to issue all commands, especially the nuclear command. No, just, yeah. So that goes to show you these guys don't care about the American people. like they claim they do. So we're only a minute into this, and I've done 95% talking and less video. I mean, that's the whole point of my politics channel. Is you're gonna hear me talking so much that it's gonna take me forever to get through the video. Like I said, there's gonna be so much about my knowledge on the government. And some of it's gonna be repetitive, but that's the whole point of the politics channel. To get the message before I move on to the next topic. And that's what you're gonna see. I'm gonna focus on this. Now, there could be maybe 10, 20 videos just on this video alone for me to talk about alone. So
It's the reason I highlight.
remember that. You don't highlight shit. You only highlight your pockets. Now keep your mouth shut and actually be more professional, you freaking ignorant freaking Congress members.
Aviation and the consequences of the shutdown tonight. We saw how fragile our air system is earlier this year.
No, you only see how fragile your pockets are because soon people are going to get sick and tired of you and are going to want to defund your ass every time the government shuts down. You guys are the reason. You Democrats who did not want to vote to keep the government open to avoid this government shutdown chose to do this. You're afraid that the people are going to make your pockets so fragile that you're not going to be able to feed your families. Why are you worried about feeding your family when you can't eat, when you don't even care about feeding the American people? Your job is to make sure the American people have enough money to put food on their plates every morning, every afternoon, every night, and every evening. To me, by law, these people, the American people, should have 4 meals a day at least. That would be my law. If that was me. So understand me, Congress. If I was in there, the American people would have never had to suffer. Because I would have pressured you guys to the point where your morale would have crumbled under my persuasion that this shutdown, if I was in there, this shutdown freaking fiasco would have never happened in the first place because I would have pressured you guys. That you guys would have been so annoyed that you guys would have never had this bullshit in the first place. That's what would have happened if I was in there.
When a series of failures led to a mid-air collision on January.
Whoa. A series of failure caused by who? You guys. One, this shutdown caused by you guys is a series of failures because without air traffic controllers getting paid and without air traffic controllers guiding airplanes to the correct altitude, you guys are the reason behind these air traffic control collisions and failures. Not just of that, but every single thing in this country. You guys are the reason why this country is so divided. You guys are the reason the American people are divided. It's that simple. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat on this one. You both are divided. I hate to be an asshole, but I don't give a fuck. It's that simple.
January the 29th, which claimed the lives of 67, including.
Wait, when?
Is earlier this year when a series of failures led to a mid-air collision on January the 29th, which claimed the lives of 67, including those of Kansas. That accident forced Congress and our nation to reckon with an issue that has plagued us for decades. Why have we not effectively modernized?
Because you guys only care about the money. You don't even have to finish that sentence. I know the simple answer. Because you guys are only smart. You guys have a 1,000 IQ when it comes to filling your pockets, raising your paychecks and your salary. But yet, when it comes to benefiting the American people, you guys have an IQ of negative 1 million. Even infants are freaking smarter than most y'all in those freaking chairs in that freaking Capitol Hill building.
Our airspace system. Since that crash, steps have been taken to train more controllers and
What steps have been taken? I didn't see shit. Because you guys only take steps to raise your paychecks. Is that what it is? Because I guarantee you that's what it is.
improve the aviation system, including a $12.5 billion investment in modernizing our airspace. But those efforts are becoming much more difficult to accomplish during.
That's because you guys are weak. You guys are soft. You guys do not have good determination. You guys are as old as brittle. You guys are literally dumbasses. You guys are not persistent. You guys are not persistent enough to make sure that those efforts do not become difficult. Yet you make an excuse every time you do attempt to spend American tax-paying money on Americans. You make an excuse to not to, only to fulfill your pockets and your corrupt career political dreams. Though this shit makes me angry. My anger fuels my persistence to become a politician every fucking single day. And that anger makes sure that I pursue it and practices my ability to calm myself in voting situations. Because if I was in Congress and I snapped out like that, I would not hold back. I would say what I gotta say. Because y'all are a bunch of freaking liars. Especially the majority of the Democrats. In both houses. Again, some Democrats are honest. And I can give praise to John Fetterman, a senator from Pennsylvania, who has tried to make sure that the government remained open. Because he is one of the two Democrats who in the Senate who has voted with the 53 Republicans, because almost all Republicans except one voted to keep the government open. But the Democrats, John Fetterman and another one, those two the entire time, the only two of the Democratic side who voted to attempt to keep the government open, were honest and are exposing their party in every way. You know, John Fetterman even exposed Joe Biden's open border policy. You know, I can actually take a break from this long video start tomorrow and actually do this quick video. Do that video. And do a little reaction on that one. It won't be a full live like this one. Alright. So I want to get through this video. This shit's gonna take forever. But again, when it comes to politics, you're going to hear me more yapping. Maybe not at first when I first started the channel. But now, as I get more comfortable with the channel, get more comfortable speaking with you all, either through anger or through calmness or a combination, it's going to be more yapping instead of the video. And that's going to show you my showcase and knowledge of government and how the politicians in DC should be representing the people, but they freaking don't. All right.
During a shutdown. Unfortunately, the
A
position
shutdown caused by you guys, by the way.
of the aviation industry it finds itself in today
A shutdown of any industry caused by you idiots. I'm going to keep saying that.
cannot be easily solved.
It can't be easily solved because you guys are weak, old, retarded, walking fossils, have zero IQ. Again, an infant is smarter than some of y'all. Because you guys don't have any persistence to make sure that the American people prosper, stay safe, get paid, so they can feed their families. Because you guys only care about your pockets. It's that simple.
But we cannot even begin to solve it unless we reopen the government.
You guys can't begin to solve it because you guys have zero IQ. Democrats, the majority of all y'all's reputation is going to be tarnished, ripped apart by this. Because the American people are actually seeing through you. Now, before I continue the video, share another video with you all. I'm going to share another video with you all because hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to sign in for a minute. Hold on. I'm going to. Because sometimes I forget to remember or forget to save links of images of the video I need or am looking for. So I want to do that before I forget. So bear with me here. Yes, I am using my phone to take a picture of what I need to take a picture of. Alright. There we go. I got it. All right. Let me sign back in. All right. I'm in. All right. I'm going to use a political ad here. Oh, okay. All right. Let's begin. All right. I'm going to share the screen. All right. This will be a part of what I got today. The city's become a Muslim city. Yeah, of course he's a slow ass motherfucker. Yeah. He's literally late for the car. A man whose name was. I'm gonna pause that for a minute. A man whose name was on the frickin' ballot, mind you, twice, not once. Excuse me, twice. Meaning that he ended. To be honest, it was pretty confident that he rigged the election. And I'm not even a politician or an expert to say that. And I'm going to prove that to you. Oh shit. Oh shit. This is actually true. Stand up. Alrighty, folks, I am back. All right. Now, as I was going back, hold on. The computer must be overheating. Hold on. I'm gonna wait for it to fully load. Where's that live video at? Okay. All right. All right. Now hold up. Let me share this fucking screen. Okay, I'm gonna share it with you. Let me know what you all think down in the comments. Now, the question of the hold on, it's not sharing. Hold on. There we go. Now, according to this, listing candidates twice is, I guess it's not a scam. If your time is short, New York City mayoral candidates Zahran Mamdani and Curtis Slowell are listed twice on the ballot because two separate parties nominated them. Okay. The Socialist Party and the Democrat Party, possibly, or Independent and Democratic Party, sorry, probably nominated Zohar Mamdani. Candidates and political parties in New York have operated under this system. Why? So they can rig elections. So to me, that's not a scam. Known as fusion voting. What the fuck? I've never heard of this. Hold on. I've never heard of fucking fusion voting. What the fuck is this shit? Fusion voting? Since the what the fuck? We did not have a government until 1788. Ooh, excuse me. We did not have a government until 1788. So what the fuck you telling me? It's been like this all along? Or what? All right. Oh shit. This is actually true though. Democrat, working families. I don't fucking think that's a party that exists. Working families. What the hell? I don't think that's a party that exists. So yes, I do believe that election was rigged. Now, as you all can see, and I'll zoom in even farther. Oh, that's the farthest I can zoom in. But if you look, Zoran Madani, Democratic, Republican. Oh shit, hold on. Curtis A. Sluwa, Conservative, Irene Estrada, Working Families, Zoran Mamdani, Protect Animals, Curtis A. Sluwa, Safe and Affordable, Eric L. Adams. Those are the Working Families, Protect Animals, Safe and Affordable. Those three parties I've never heard of. Their slogans. No, I've heard of the names, but not as political parties, but as slogans of politicians to get the votes from the people. Don't conservative and Republican mean the same thing? This whole freaking ballot thing is weird as hell. Yeah, but they don't mention Gonzalo Duran, Republican and conservative. His name is also on the ballot twice. But then again, Republican and conservative means the same thing. Well, look at Jamon D. Williams. whose name is also on the ballot twice. The whole freaking New York City freaking ballot is weird as hell. Mark D. Levine, Democratic. Peter Kefalos. Look at this. Name on the ballot twice. And that's a Republican. Ismael Malo Perez. You only talk about. This is where, unfortunately, I do have to defend this Zoran Mardani. You don't talk about all the others, how their names ended up on the frickin' ballot twice, like Alvin L. Bragg Jr. The guy who frickin' prosecuted Trump is on the ballot for district attorney. It says vote for one. So the ballot's fucked up. The whole ballot is screwed up. Unless this was intentionally done. Alvin L. Bragg Jr. Alvin L. Bragg Jr. So this is a pattern. Like Mob Moran. If you look, all these parties, the Unity, Ismael Malum Perez, a Safer Manhattan, Diane G. Florence, the Unity, Rolando Gomez, like what? Like, it's like that on both parties. It says only vote for one. Brad Hollyman Sinol, Sesson Adams, Brad Hollyman Segal. Like, 3 Democrats duplicated twice. Two Republicans duplicated. 3 Democrats duplicated twice. 2 Republicans duplicated twice. So that goes to show you that both parties were duplicated. Yes, the Democrats were duplicated more than the Republicans. However, both parties should not be duplicated like this. Because it does say only vote for one. So that goes to show you something. The election for every category so far in that city was rigged. District attorney, mayor, judge, whatever political category, not political party, but political position, judge, mayor, etc. That was duplicated twice. Yeah. Oh, fuck. All right. Excuse me a little bit. I'm a little stuffed. But what begs the question was that election system entirely honest? Or was it spitefully set up that way so chaos can be created? You ask me. Let me know down in the comments. Hold on. I'm going to... All right. I'm going to send that right now. And actually, I'm going to replace pinned message. This message is actually important. Now, that screen I just shared. Now, I have to go back. Now, I'm going to get out of here. Get out of this political fact. And go to my YouTube. I don't care about Delta Force kills. I'll watch that later on my own time. Again, this prick is slow. So I'm going to share this screen. Covering multiple different topics in this video today. Or in this live, I should say. And yes, I do the editing by myself. So any parts that go through here and anything that is predicted, I will put that on the video. To make my channel a lot smoother. Probably coming up. Turn. Okay. To be honest, I don't know where this city's future's headed, but we'll see. It is. Let's see what he has to say. So, folks, keep quiet.
Good morning, everyone. I first want to say thank you to Nancy Cantor, president of Hunter College, for having us here today. It is a privilege to be here as we take the next big step forward into our mayoral transition. It feels fitting to be standing in the very place where FDR shaped his own presidential transition and where he and his team devised the foundation of the New Deal, including Social Security. I've said many times that, above all, my politics is one of consistency. When we launched our campaign in October of last year, we made clear that it would be focused on tackling the affordability crisis that devastates far too many working New Yorkers across these 5 boroughs. Those who work from dusk until dawn, and still, it isn't enough. But that consistency extends beyond our policy priorities. Nothing has been more unwavering within this movement than our commitment to excellence. Excellence was the rubric around which we built our campaign team, and it will be the framework through which we approach every governing decision. And excellence is not abstract. It will be reflected in the highest levels of City Hall and the advisors who most shape my decision-making. Today, I am proud to announce my first deputy mayor and my chief of staff, 2 leaders who have deep experience guiding our city and state through challenging moments, possess the fresh, innovative ideas needed to transform our city, and the expertise.
My video ain't lagging. It's the video that I'm sharing that's lagging. But it is still playing, which is a good thing. I don't care about much the visual. I'd rather hear the sound. The sound is better than visual in most cases, especially in laggy videos. Not going to lie.
To help me deliver on the campaign promises that resonated with more than 1 million New Yorkers a literal over a week today. First, I want to announce my first deputy mayor, Dean Fuleihan. Except that I know for many, he will require no introduction. I'm grateful to him for returning to public service, and I know he has chosen to do so because he believes in our administration's ability to deliver universal childcare, making the slowest buses in America fast and free, and freezing the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants in this city. Dean has been an incredibly influential leader and manager in New York City government and state government for almost 5 decades.
Now, this is a nice promise. Oh, freezing the rent. You know how much that's going to hurt the landlords? I would approach that with caution if I were you, Mamdani. Okay. Oh shit! Before I forget to mention, there's already concern that 15% of the millionaires and 15% of the billionaires are actually going to leave this city. And that is the equivalent of a net loss, economic loss, and that this will be an economic blow to New York City of almost $4 billion per year. Now, and to be honest, that is freaking brutal. So, Madani, though you might appoint people who are smarter than you, it is up to you to make the smart decisions. You are the leader of this city. So if I were you, I would be careful of how much your policies affect your people. Remember that. while many view it as elections being rigged by the Democrats. Well, the meaningful differences do take time, up Downey. You got to realize that they're not immediate, okay? Because if they were immediate, it would deliver shock and awe, but it could also hurt people economically. So every promise you make, you got to be careful that it is a legal promise you can make. Because again, each promise has to be within the legal bounds of U.S. federal law. You got to understand that. Just because you appoint leaders with experience doesn't mean that you're going to have the best reputation. It's your decision, McDowney, that's going to prove if you are fit to hold the mayor and leadership of New York City, the biggest borough in this country, at least, as far as I know of. Ooh, excuse me. So that's just a little taste of, throwing all that information out there. Yes, I know. I threw all that information out there on you. So today I'm going to end that there, and I'm going to do this real quick to make sure that everything is working.
Remain shut down.
Okay. I want to make sure everything is working. All right. Y'all. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. So before I go, what do you all think on the live chats I put in there? What do you all think on what's going on in the world? Do you all think that do you believe that our system needs fixing? Let me all know down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer that question for you. I just want you all to know you can follow me on YouTube, not Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I almost forgot one platform. But yes. And don't forget to watch the personal information video about me. Because, there are people that are not going to have hope for their future. Just watch that video. Some of the shit, well, I shouldn't say shit, but some of the stuff I'm going to tell you is going to be a little bit repetitive, but that, again, it's going to be a little repetitive for a good reason, to get the message. All right? But today, I just threw a whole lot of topics in one video, a whole lot of information. Slow it down if you need to process. I don't care how you do it. But please, again, and I'll keep mentioning this until I get a lot of comments, your opinion matters on this channel as long as you don't do any hate speech or discriminatory or any racial or sexual acts on this channel, or put any sexual or anything like that in the comments. Already complete curse word language in the chat. just make sure that you'll do your best to keep it as much PG-13 related. So that's my goal. That's my whole point of it. So please don't forget to make yourself aware of your surroundings. Shit, I'm literally freaking stuffy, by the way. So hope y'all have a great day. And I will make sure I'm definitely back on here tomorrow because this is going to be continuous stream of live streams. And yes, this is where I'm going to start investing into my channel. To bring this content to you all, I want to make sure I invest into my channel. I'm going to start off with a really small amount. So I don't crazy spend where I'm in debt. So I'm going to do that. All right. Have a great day. Love y'all. Don't forget to subscribe. Good night, y'all. Bye. Take care and stay safe with this winter weather.